Hello, welcome to the Happy Insights podcast. Today's episode is about six-dimensional dark forces, people's negative energies towards you, and ill intention, and how to protect yourself from negative energy. So, this is a topic that I didn't really want to go too deep into originally because it's not something I like to address. But I'm realizing that there's a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to this specific topic. And I think we need to address it. It needs to be explained a little bit better to take away some fear and to also show how to protect yourself against energies that are not always well intended. But the first thing I have to do is kind of divide it up into pieces. Okay, so if you watched the previous episode, which was about 12 dimensions of reality, I explained that in the sixth dimension, exists the architects of reality. And those are the architects that create the blueprint of what we're experiencing. And there are light forces that create the good stuff in this world. And there are dark forces that create the bad stuff in this world. But I want to make a clarification. When dark things happen, they happen for you. Oh no, this is really hard to understand. Now, there's stuff that happens globally, right? There's stuff that's going on in this world that's happening. And of course, the dark architects of reality are creating that. But we live in our own reality, a reality that's designed just for us. And the purpose of that reality that is created and curated for us to experience on a day-to-day basis is our evolution and how we grow and how our soul grows. And this is old news if you've been listening to my podcast and it's something that you've heard before. But it's important to understand that what some people call demons that are out there to get us, okay, are not necessarily on somebody else's side. They're on our side. Whenever time comes that we need to evolve as humans, there are two ways that most people evolve. One is through inspiration, when something just inspires you to become something more and you stay focused on it and you become more. The other way is when something really terrible happens and you break down, your psyche breaks down, your heart breaks down, you break down as a person, and then you have to become someone new and grow from the manure that life has created for you and rise from the ashes. And oftentimes, the growth that we have that happens from a really negative circumstance is a lot more extreme and a lot more substantial than the growth that we get from just pure inspiration. Now, some people are really hyper focused, they're visionaries, and they're able to grow by seeing something new. They're actively manifesting something better. They're revealing a version of themselves that they've never met before because there's always a version of you that's better that you haven't met yet. Now, how you get there is up to you. So, the first part of this podcast is about that. And the second part is about people's negative intent towards you, the evil eye, negative energies, leftover negative thought forms, and how to protect yourself from that. So, stay with me and I'll go through both of them because I didn't really want to make two negative episodes. I thought one short one would be just the right amount. So, the first thing that I want to go back to is that the greatest transformation comes from the most difficult times of our lives. Now, we don't have to necessarily go through that really difficult period. Life has a way of hinting at you that there's a transformation that can take place within you. And if you make a subtle left in life, or if you just follow this inspiration, or if you deal with this small issue with a friend that you have or a trigger that you have that's pretty small, that issue will allow you to slowly transform into the next thing. And then another small trigger or another small issue will allow you to transform into the next thing, and so on and so forth. So your transformation is a gradual process that's not really heavy, and it does take a while. And it does take your conscious awareness that everything that's happening to you is happening for you to evolve. But it doesn't have to be these huge, severe instances where your entire life falls apart and it crumbles. But here is where most of us stand. Most of us are finding ourselves in situations where there are triggers, where there are issues. But instead of dealing with them, we deal with the symptom. We don't deal with its cause. So we kind of find a way to bypass the spiritual growth. Or most of us find ourselves in a very steady, comfortable routine where life feels decent and it's good. And you seem like you're checking off all the boxes and life is going smoothly, but there's no actual soul transformation happening. You're not evolving. You're not having these aha moments. You're not growing. And that is when the darker forces from the sixth dimension start to interfere. Because the angels, or what we call the angels, or the light forces of the sixth dimension, have already shown you the lighter ways for you to grow, have already shown you the light paths for you to evolve. But a lot of times when the path is too easy or too good, we don't transform. We just kind of bask in the pleasure of it, but there's no true transformation. And like I said, we're here on this earth to transform because the earth is a school. A lot of teachers call Earth Earth School, the school of Earth, the planet Earth, where we come to upgrade. We don't come to jump through hoops so we can prove ourselves. We come to upgrade. Think of it as the gym. We go there, we work out really hard to upgrade. Or any kind of school. You go there, you learn to take these really difficult tests and physical exams, but it's not an easy process. But what you get at the end is worth all the effort. And if you've had a good life and you've had to work hard for it, you understand that. Now, I'm going to clarify, you can grow, you can transform without having to go through really deep negative experiences. But a lot of us get complacent, and that's when the dark forces or the dark energies that are working for you, consider them your demons. Not that there are random demons out there to get you. They're your specific demons that are designing situations in your life, discomfort in your life, and oftentimes tragedy in your life that will cause you to fall apart. And that's when the best version of you has the opportunity to come out. And when you acknowledge that whatever is happening to you is happening for your evolution and growth, you can have the mindset that I'm supposed to become something better because of this. And then you can have the trust in the universe that it will provide you the tools if you choose to grow from this rather than become victimized and fall apart. Because you always do have a choice. If something really horrible happens to you, you can just fall apart. You can just let yourself go and just become a walking zombie. But obviously, if you're someone who watches my show or listens to my show, you're not one of those people. You're here to become the best version of yourself. If you're drawn to me as a teacher, you're here to evolve in the best way possible. But sometimes evolving in the best way possible is having the right mindset during difficult moments. So I look at my own life. Every single time there has been extreme hardship, tragedies, difficulties, that's when I had the biggest leaps and growth. So I'm not the only one. You can look at your life. You can look at the people around you, the ones who have a good mindset. Those instances are the ones that allowed them to find out what they're capable of, what their spiritual muscles are, what their physical muscles are. Those are the opportunities. So the sixth dimensional demons, your demons, are there to help you, to assist you for your evolution. And if you have that mindset, then you're not afraid of them. You don't run away from things that seem difficult. You will actually run towards them because you know that's where opportunity lies. That's where compassion lies. For example, grief. Grief is a huge one. Right now, the city that I live in, which is Los Angeles, has lost two big, beautiful parts of itself. Pacific Palisades and Altadena are two large portions of the city that were destroyed. It's a graveyard. And I have clients that are experiencing difficulties and hardship. And some of them have a very spiritual outlook. They know that they are going through this and they're becoming more, and it's bringing more compassion into their lives. They're learning how to receive, they're learning how to trust the universe. They're coming into their own power. And some people are just not having a good time right now, which is completely justified because when you do have grief in your life, you have to go through the stages of grief. But once you go through the stages of grief, then you have to decide where you want to end up. When I lost my son, my name was Happy. My name has been Happy for 29 years now. Now, when I lost my son, I didn't want to give up on my name. So I made sure that I would do whatever it takes to get to a place where I can proudly say my name out loud. And in the beginning, I didn't. I even changed my name on Facebook to Haps because I was ashamed of my name because I was not happy. I was miserable. But I processed all that, and that's a whole nother story. So tragedies come into your life for a reason. They break you apart for a reason. And if you're in the middle of a tragedy right now, you might not be in a place to hear this. And it sounds like gibberish, so you can come back to it later. But in general, I want to tell you every single author I've ever had on my show that has had some spiritual awakening, it was through tragedy. That's pretty much the common theme between most people that are enlightened and the people that are happiest on this planet. Okay, so that being said, that's basically what the dark stuff is about that is thrown at you. Now, let's put that aside. Let's go to part two of this episode. Part two of this episode is about all the negative energies out there, all the people who do not wish for you to succeed, all the people who are jealous of you, and all the negative things that could leech onto you and create negative circumstances in your life if you're not protected. And now there are some old cultures, like the Eastern culture where I come from, where they believe in the evil eye. That means if someone's jealous of you, they're going to have a negative intention towards you, and your life is not going to work out. It's almost like you have a bad spell put on you. But here's the thing. I want to teach you how to protect yourself from negative intentions. Now, we are the creator of our reality, and we can only receive what we believe, and we vibrate. So those are the two key things. What we vibrate and what we believe is what we receive into our lives. Now, I used to wear a red string from the Kabbalah, and sometimes the little eye, whenever I would go to Turkey or something, and I would get some accessory that had the little eye, and I would wear it for protection. And as long as I wore that, I felt that I was protected from other people's negative intentions. But here's the problem with that. When you believe that you need something to protect yourself against something bad, you're disempowering yourself. You're saying to the universe that I am not enough and I need protection. But if you can truly become a positive being, a source of light, someone who deliberately chooses positive thoughts about themselves, others, and tends to see the bright side in different situations, then you emanate and vibrate positive frequency. And when you do that, whether you have a red string on or you have the little eye on or whatever it is that your culture assigns to protecting the demons or evil eye or whatever it is, when you truly emanate light and you come into your own divinity, that's when you become impervious to negativity. So I tell people the most powerful way to be impervious to any negativity in this world is to emanate pure positivity. Manage your thoughts, manage your conversations. Make sure that when you're talking to people, you're staying in a conversation that has a high vibration. Now, it doesn't mean you shouldn't have negative emotions. You can have negative emotions, but process them quickly and release them. Look at them through the lens of love. Love yourself, nurture the negative emotion, allow the negative emotion to exist and be processed, and with that same love, release it. But if you go the fear-based route where I'm afraid of my negative emotion, you could even have the intention to only have positive emotion, but come from a fear-based perspective, and you would still have negative vibrations. So the point is, don't vilify negative emotion. Be extremely deliberate with your perspective on life. Choose love as the angle that you see life through. And also minimize the negative chatter that's unnecessary. When something is out of your control and it's negative, don't perpetuate that topic and keep talking about it and keep telling other people about it and keep sending reels about it and make yourself powerless. When politics aren't going your way, don't make yourself feel powerless. Then you're susceptible to the negativity of the world, the negative energy of the world, and the negative intentions of people who might have ill will towards you. So the key is choose your thoughts, choose your feelings, choose the angle that you look at life through wisely. Choose love over fear any day, and you become impervious to any negativity. But if you cannot truly do that, if you can't truly become that positive light, and you feel that red string is what you need to protect yourself, wear the frickin' string. Or put the little symbol or jewelry or whatever it is that makes you feel protected. Because once you believe that you are protected, you are protected. It's your belief that's the key. So the best way to protect yourself against negative intentions and all the negative thought forms and events in life that don't necessarily have to come to you is to believe that you're protected, to believe, to know that you are protected, and no amount of darkness can dim your light. Now, saying that, I want to go back to the beginning of this podcast because that's how I want to wrap it up. When I talked about believing that you are protected, I was talking about being protected from energies that are not necessarily yours, that you do not necessarily have to experience, negative energies. I didn't say it's going to protect you from grief or those giant things that your life will give you to give you the opportunity for growth, because those things are not actually negative things. You want to be okay with those orchestrated events to happen to you so you can evolve. You just want to be protected from the mundane, unimportant negative energies and negative thoughts that are not necessary in your life. So I divided negativity into two categories. The first category was the category that helps you evolve as a human being, as a soul. And the second category was negative energies that are unnecessary in your life and only wreak havoc. And they're not there for your evolution. They're just attaching themselves onto you because you have the receptors, because you believe that you're prone to negativity or you perpetuate negative thought and negative vibrations. So from this moment on, I want you to say to yourself or repeat after me, I am a spark of the divine. If I tap into the spark of the divine, I am protected. I am light. It's very simple. It's not a lot of words, but you have to mean it. And also say to yourself and mean it and say, I'm not afraid of any negative circumstance that my higher beings want me to experience for me to evolve into a better person, so I can grow more compassion, so I can have more love, so I can evolve into the best version of myself. I hope this episode did not freak you out, actually was a positive source of information into your life. And please let me know if you agree with this, because it is, I think, a very important topic. And a lot of people have been bringing it up lately because of the darkness that's happening in this city right now and in the world. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, then you are doing yourself a disservice and you need to help me out. So make sure you comment about the topic and you subscribe. Okay. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.